Hello and welcome to Performance TV presented by Top Coat. We've got a great show for you this week, and we're going to start out having a whole lot of fun on the trails. ATVs. They are built very well. They can handle a lot, but it's the trail riders who find the vulnerabilities, and that's what we're going to work on here. Weston is here. You guys have products to upgrade an ATV so that it can attack the trails even more. What have you got?
We have a whole line of poly products that help maintain your machine in one piece through the trails. No matter how aggressive you are, they will withstand anything you can throw at them. We have a brake rotor guard that will protect your rear brake rotor from any rocks or debris that you might find on a trail, no matter how aggressive you are. It will take boulders, sticks, rocks, whatever you throw at it. We also have a sprocket guard on the back to help keep the sprocket from being bent or damaged due to impacts on the trail. We have a swing arm skid plate that bolts directly to the swing arm that protects from any impact. Also helps you slide over obstacles to keep you from being high-centered. Another thing that you would need is a wear item, which is a chain slider, which is on the swing arm. It bolts to the side, and it'll keep the chain from wearing into the swing arm. And when the factory one wears, you don't know that it's worn out. You can't see it. We have a poly one that's much larger, much tougher than the factory one, so that we can get more hours out of it before we have to change one. Actually, the one we have here on our testing, we have not been able to wear one out. And then to take that one step further, we make case savers that if you ever break a drive chain while you're out riding, you don't ever want to break a chain and it impact your engine cases and damage your engine, because that's a really bad way to end a weekend. Our case saver prevents that damage from ever happening.
Now tell me a little bit about the material. We're going to finish up this installation. You've already gone piece by piece putting in the parts. It's been very cool to watch in that it goes really rapidly, but this skid plate, that is really the centerpiece of it, because you're going to be over the rocks, you're going to be sliding along. Now how did you come up with these ideas?
Me being a rider, I find the issues that riders commonly have. If you break something, you can either buy the same thing that you've already broke, or you can buy something that is stronger than what you broke so that you don't have to change it again. And me seeing what is made on the market and what is already being made and what can be made better.
And this is the factory one. You can look at it. I know they were well intentioned with this, kind of slick, but pretty lightweight. It's not exactly the kind of thing that is going to handle a huge rock and help you slide over it, actually improve your riding experience. What you've got, my goodness, now this is considerably thicker, stronger, and I would imagine it would actually help you slide over certain circumstances.
Exactly. If you ever high center on a trail, you don't ever want to have it gouge into anything that is underneath your foiler. You always want it to slide or be protected from it. Like these frame rails. If you don't want to ever damage these, or you don't want to get a rock stuck and you get hung on the engine cases, and this helps slide over any type of obstacle. This material is UHMW polyethylene. It's a very dense, very high molecular weight polyurethane. It's extremely durable. I have never been able to wear through one of these. You might be able to bend it if you have a mount come loose, but you will never be able to tear the skid plate up.
To me, it seems like a must-have upgrade, and I notice you've got slots in there so you can change your oil as well. Now, you must have a lot of experience in trail riding and ATVs to get to the point where you've come up with this.
I've got many, many years of riding ATVs. I grew up riding dirt bikes, and I transitioned to ATVs not very long after I started riding. And so I've got years of experience on these, so that I know what we tear up and what we break and what we need to have to actually keep us on the trail. Because if you don't know what you need, it's really hard to have it set up the way you want before you go ride.
Now, the protection for the case, if the chain were to break, to me that seems to make a lot of sense, because the chain is going to be a weak point on anything. You're putting your power through that, got to get your power to the ground. If that chain breaks, you can destroy a case. That's going to cost you a lot of money. I don't see why you wouldn't want a part like this.
Correct. It's really cheap insurance. It's a lot cheaper to buy a case saver before it happens than to have to buy an entire engine case and having to have your whole motor go through and be rebuilt with new engine cases if you did break one. So a $50 part is insurance for a $700 engine case.
And it's going to enable you to ride more aggressively. Not that everybody's got that skill level, but once you get the experience and you can ride like that, you're going to want to ride like that, and you don't want a part that's brittle.
Correct. It gives you peace of mind on a trail that you don't ever have to worry about what you're doing is the reason why you end up losing your weekend. You don't have to worry about the products that are on your four-wheeler being adequate to be able to do what you want it to do.
Weston is going to finish the install, just a couple of bolts, and this ATV is protected. You can ride aggressively and have a lot of fun on the trails. And one of my favorite things is you guys offer a lifetime warranty on everything you make. So check out their website for more information. I don't see why you wouldn't want this, and I wouldn't see why you wouldn't stick around for a little while longer for a little more Performance TV presented by Topcoat.
The first steam-powered road-going vehicle was invented in 1769, and steam power remained popular for another 150 years. Early steam engines had boilers that had to be lit by hand, and they took about 20 minutes to build up enough pressure. Furthermore, steam-powered cars had only about a 30-minute supply of water on board. A far cry from the high-tech cars we all drive today. Performance TV, presented by Topcoat, is brought to you by RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need. Total Seal, high-performance piston rings. Meek Magnet, you don't carry your phone without a case, so why hit the trails without Jeep armor? Tribotex, make your engine last longer. And by Topcoat, make life easier.
Welcome back to Performance TV presented by Topcoat. Diesel engines. Without them, this country would stop. Think of all the fleets out there, but there is an occasional problem to overcome. And that's why Chote Engineering Performance is in the house. Kaz, you guys solve problems for a living. What are some of those common issues you guys figure out?
Sure. Well, we're kind of known for the 6.4 Power Stroke platform. We do Cummins, Duramax, and Power Stroke. What we've got here is kind of what we call smart parts. So not only do they look good, but they actually fix problems. What we've got here is a billet valve cover that we've machined in-house. Everything that we do, 100% USA made America. It's built in-house. So we see the 6.4 liter rocker arm failure. It winds up taking out the whole engine because it causes the camshaft to fail through lifter failure. The reason why is because the 6-liter engine, the predecessor to this, had HEUI injection system, and that would spray over the rockers. But because it was a transition engine they changed, we have no oil up there. So what we did was we took and we kind of ripped a page out of the playbook for the 6.7. And we provided an oil railing system that's fed from this fitting right here that goes to the turbocharger. Maintains proper oil into the rockers, and that fixes that.
I love the term smart parts because you've improved it. It looks better, but also it works better. But you're not just limited to the parts, you made some smart tools also.
Absolutely. So one thing that I'm really excited about is this new product that we have, and it's what we call our Power Stroke socket. And one thing that I absolutely hate is to go out to the truck with the wrong tool. I want to be there, get it done. So this tool, doesn't matter if you have a 7.3, a 6.7, 6.0, 6.4. These notches here that are machined fit the 7.3. The inside fits the oil filter for the 6.0 and 6.4. And if we rotate this around, you can see on the inside it's machined out for the 6.0 fuel filter. On the outside, it's machined out for the 6.7 fuel filter.
But hey, this is Performance TV. You guys know how to make power as well. Tell me about the cylinder heads and this camshaft.
So we want reliable power. Over here, this is a set of 6-liter heads that they're aluminum. Now from the factory, they came cast iron. There's about a 66-pound difference. That's a lot of performance just in the weight. But not only did we stop there, the cast irons were prone to cracking. The aluminum has better heat dissipation. It is lighter, but we CNC port our cylinder heads. And that, again, is done all in-house. So you're looking at about a factory CFM of 160, whereas that's about 252 CFM.
Better flow in the camshaft, allowing more fuel-air mixture in there, more power.
Absolutely. Again, this is another one of those smart parts where it does work. It does have a lot more addition in horsepower, but also it stabilizes the geometry of the valve train. And it has a low shock technology. And what that is kind of like what we refer to as a crack and whack cam. So it loads the valve train, and then without generating a lot of harmonics, it maintains a good stability.
So to do all of this, though, you must have quite the machine shop.
That's one thing that we've invested a tremendous amount of money and time into. Not only do we do the manufacturing in-house, but we've actually got 3D scanning capability. If a person was to send me a part and said, you know, I want it to fit like this, but I want it to function differently. So that's a process and a service that we provide. So we're able to scan that part in with a 3D scanner and then reverse engineer it through the CAD design and then finally output it through CAM.
And fix it right the first time. If you've got a diesel engine, one of the things about diesel is they'll go forever, and not everybody can afford to upgrade their whole fleet every time, and you're helping those people.
Absolutely. The one thing that we've noticed a lot is the repair cost of diesel is much higher than that of gas burner. So you can't afford to be on the side of the road with a 40-foot flatbed broke down, and the tow bill would be astronomical. So we need it to stay fixed right the first time.
Let's check out this engine. Not everything you've fixed is in the top half of the engine. Short block issues, tell us about them.
Sure. Like anything else, the biggest thing that you want to start with is a good foundation, and that's what we've done here. So ensuring proper concentricity of the main line of the center axis of the crankshaft, making sure that it's square to the bore is extremely important. So we've done that. And again, CNC machining, making sure that we hold the tight tolerances that we're trying to achieve. Blueprint boring. And as you see, these pistons are not something that you normally would see on a Power Stroke engine or a Cummins engine or anything like that. These are our G3 style pistons. A lot of common problems with diesel engines nowadays is piston cracking because you have higher injection pressures, and because of that, the pistons tend to crack. So what we've done is we've machined the bowls so that it's a re-entrant style bowl from the factory. We machine the bowls so that you don't have these high amount of heat load areas inside the piston, and we have smoothed all the areas off so that there's no hot spots that are generated there, as well as square decking the block, because it's extremely important for head gasket sealing to have a proper smooth surface and flat surface so that it can seal properly. And as well, we also have a billet flex plate. We've seen failures with the flex plates actually failing through the hub area, and we've addressed that as well.
I like what you're doing. If you've got a fleet and you want to stay on the road, hit their website. They've got it going on. And we've got it going on with more Performance TV presented by Top Coat coming up after this.
Our name is Performance TV, so how about this for performance? Top Fuel dragsters are the fastest accelerating manned vehicles on the planet. They can cover a 1,000-foot drag strip in just over 3.5 seconds. The cars burn about 15 gallons of nitromethane fuel over the course of a single run. And the top speed, 338 miles an hour. Performance TV coming from Borla Commerce Park.
Welcome back to Performance TV. If you have a big rig, say maybe a race rig, a whole fleet of trucks, wouldn't it be great if you had an opportunity to save on maintenance costs, increase your fuel mileage, and of course that's going to save a whole lot of money, plus save wear and tear? Well, we've got an idea for you, and for more, let's go inside with Joe.
Thanks, Kathy. Steel Shield is a made-in-America friction-reducing metal treatment. Now, it's going to help us with our fuel mileage on that truck outside, but Mark, you've got a whole line of products.
Right, and they all contain our advanced boundary film technology that attaches to the metal surfaces, so we treat the metal and not the oil.
Now, let's go into that. Metal may look smooth, but it's not.
Right, it's porous. There's hills and valleys. So our product will go in and attach to the negative valleys chemically, and then like a magnet, instead of two surfaces come together attaching to each other, they're going to repel. So that helps to reduce the friction on metal to metal surfaces.
So anywhere that there is friction, whether it be your power steering pump, regular nuts and bolts, or otherwise, you guys have got a product that can typically help. You're widely used in industry, but you've got an example for us here today.
Yes, we're going to demonstrate the product for the trucking industry, which will help reduce the friction. And when you reduce the friction, you save energy. In this case, you see it in your fuel bill.
Let's see it.
Okay.
I love demonstrations like this here on Performance TV.
Right. So we're going to take some standard 1540 diesel engine oil. We're going to put it in the reservoir. This is a Timken OK load test. It's a standard for testing heat and friction, and by using two surfaces. One is a Timken race with a Rockwell hardness of C62, and the other surface is in the holder. It's a Felix tapered test roll, has a Rockwell hardness of C58. Two things to watch is the amp meter, which is going to measure the load on the electric motor, and the scale. Every pound applied on the scale is equivalent to over 30 pounds of pressure, point to point, with the Fulcrum arm right here. So we're going to turn it on. See, we filled close to 10 pounds. And already you can see the wear that's taken place.
Even with oil, it just stopped, heated up.
Just to show you the consistency of the test machine, we'll turn it to a new spot, put it back on, we'll pull down again.
And shut it right down.
9 pounds, correct. And again, about the same wear mark. So I'm going to turn it to a new spot. We're going to take the oil away.
I'm excited about this.
Well, when you see the reduction that we're going to do, you're going to see, wow, you could save fuel by using Steel Shield products. You see a lot of the air deflectors on the trailers This is a real quick fix for saving fuel.
All right, here we go. You cannot shut it down. Look at that.
All the way down the bottom. We didn't clean the race, which would actually have even less wear due to less friction on the two metal surfaces. But you could see at the bottom of the scale, you have a polished point.
And the steel shield proves itself right here on Performance TV.
Time now for the lowdown with Magic Creeper.
The Magic Creeper is such a versatile tool.
Absolutely. It is a multi-purpose tool. And more than anything else, I hear about the Magic Creeper. Like, is that thing as good as you guys say it is? And it absolutely is, because it's lightweight, it's easy to store in your vehicle when you're out on the trails or wherever. You bust it out. Of course, if you want to use it as a creeper, it gives you that extra ground clearance. You can slide over gravel, or maybe even in a wet spot, you can make your way under the vehicle.
Because the thing is, once you sit on the Magic Creeper, you are going to stay in that same spot. The Magic Creeper is what moves, so you don't have to worry about getting dirty or whatever. And you know, hey, if you have one, not just when we're out on the trail like this, but having one in your everyday vehicle, if you need to pull over to the side of the road, or you need to check the air in your tires, whatever, Joe, you're going to stay clean.
Absolutely. Just a cushion, something to sit on, some way to move a heavy object or two. And for something that is designed to be a creeper, we have found so many different uses for it.
And you want to make sure that you keep it rolled up. Keep the straps around the outside, because that way you can roll it right underneath whatever you need to get under. Make sure to sit on the edge, slide forward a little bit, and then, as you can see, Joe stays in the same spot, in the same material area on the creeper. He stays clean. And the Magic Creeper is very easy to clean. It's puncture resistant. Like Joe mentioned, hey, it only weighs like 3 pounds, so this thing has got so many cool uses. Get the original Magic Creeper by going to their website at magiccreeper.com.
More Performance TV presented by Top Coat after this.
The Hennessy Venom GT is the fastest production car in the world. It set the record at Kennedy Space Center in 2014. How fast did the twin-turbo V8 supercar go? Was it 230 miles an hour, 240, 260, or 270? Believe it or not, an incredible 270 miles an hour. Performance TV, presented by Top Coat, is brought to you by Stage 8 Fasteners, home of the world's best locking header bolt. Locking kits now available for all turbo applications. Go to stage8.com. Advanced Wheel Locks, true security starts here. Blackbridge Motors, discover custom built. Woody's Lights, off-road LED whips, lights, RV lights, and other custom LED projects. And by Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever.
Welcome back to Performance TV, presented by Top Coat. Kathy Fisher not in, but we got Dave Dobson. Dave, your life, all about balance, and that's what we're going to talk about here today.
Oh, give me a minute. No, we're here to talk about tire balancing. I love balance in life. I love balancing with the tires. It's super important. It sounds like a little thing, but if you don't balance your tires, you're going to, of course, get a wobble that'll be noticeable as you're driving. You'll feel it in your ride. But more important, it's going to wear your tire unevenly. And that means that it's going to wear faster, so you're going to go through tires a lot quicker. It's also going to heat it up, which is going to exacerbate that heating and cooling of the tires.
As much as we talk about performance, safety is really the underlying theme. You wear out your tires, you could experience a blowout. Let's say you're towing something very valuable, your car, your boat, your truck, your family. That's dangerous. So keeping your tires balanced, it's very important. And that's what we're going to talk about here today with a great product that has been around for a long time, Checkered Flag tire beads. The idea that they have had these beads for so long, balancing very large tires.
You got it. And of course, the old school way is to put weights on your tires, and a professional has to do that. Checkered Flag tire beads came along, and when you mount the tires onto the rims, you can actually put these beads in it, and it will balance the tire. The only drawback to that, if it really is a drawback, is that you have to take the tire and unmount it from the rim. Well, now there's a solution.
Exactly. Checkered Flag tire beads are great and still work very well if you are just mounting the tire to the wheel. But what if you've already got a set of tires on rims? Then what do you do now? There's an option. Checkered Flag tire beads liquid.
You got it, and it's super simple to use. Joe, even you could do it. We saw you doing it a few minutes ago.
Yes.
Yes, to the tire. How'd the process work?
Simple as this. Release the Schrader valve, let the air go out. Takes a second or two, and once it is all equalized, you'll attach the hose that they provide. You get caps with it, you get a valve stem tool, you attach the hose to the valve stem, you attach the hose then to the bag or the container of liquid, and let gravity do its thing. It takes a second or two to all enter the tire, and then you replace the Schrader valve and you're good to go. Now what's great about it is it's non-toxic, it will not freeze, and it will not destroy your wheel from the inside out. Those are all very important things, but what it does that is great is exactly what the checkered flag tire beads do. They equalize the weight. So if you have a tire that is out of balance, it will be balanced, and you will get all the great benefits, including a 15% reduction in tire temperature.
You got it. You're going to have less friction, which means less heat because the tires are balanced, and because it's a liquid, it is going to keep your tires cooler than even the regular tire beads.
Jeep tires, truck tires, big truck tires, trailer tires, motorcycle tires. Not really a sports car kind of thing with a low profile tire, but anything super large that is exactly in your wheelhouse. And they have a great kit. You get some caps, you get a tool, you get the liquid, and they've got all the information on their website for size of tire, how much liquid to use.
Well, just think about if you own a fleet or you have an RV or something like that. Of course, your tires need to be balanced. You're going to take them back to a tire dealer or a technician, and they're going to have to unmount it, rebalance it, whatever they do to maintain your tires. And with this, you can do it yourself. You can do it with a liquid. You can do it on all your fleet vehicles. It is going to save you money on the actual balancing, and it is going to save you because your tires are going to last longer, and as Joe said, they are going to be safer.
A smoother ride, safer, and an option. Obviously, the checkered flag tire beads still work if you're doing new tires on new rims, a new set, but if you've got a trailer or something that is out of balance and you want to fix that problem, the checkered flag tire beads liquid is going to get you down the road.
Well, that is all the time we have for this episode of Performance TV.
We've got a lot more great stuff coming up in the weeks ahead, so stick around. We'll see you next week on Performance TV, presented by Top Coat.